Assalamu alaikum. Today is the fifth day of JavaScript in TTCDB, and we will build tabs and accordions, two popular UI elements. So let's start. Okay, so first we will create tabs. Let's create a tabs.html. There can be a number of ways. It all depends upon your own logic, okay? But I will go with my way of creating tabs. And once we have learned accessibility, we will make all these tabs and the accordion which we will be making today as well accessible too. So let us do it the normal way first. Then we will have tabs.js also, and maybe tabs.css. This is fine. Okay, so let us start with the markup first. Always, once you are experienced JavaScript developers, you will know what are my boundaries. I mean, you should know where you will be doing CSS, the extent to which you will be doing CSS yourself, and then JavaScript will just only be helping you. Okay, so first things first, markup and CSS. So let us create some. Let us create a wrapper first. Then inside it we will have a div for tabs. It will have some buttons. Tabs will have some buttons, so let us create some buttons. This is going to be a fact about frequently asked questions about JavaScript or something like that, or maybe programming languages. Okay, so what is JavaScript? This is a question. Similarly, let us start with HTML. Then what is PHP? What is MySQL? Sorry, what is Symfony? And what is Drupal? All of these we will have some answers. So when we are going to make things accessible, it will have role is equal to tabs or something like this. We'll study it later on, but for now we will have just normal markup. Okay. The next thing is, once this is clicked, we need to have divs which will have the answers to these questions, right? So for example, we'll have a div class is equal to panel. This is tab button, so this is tab panel. Okay, so we will have 4 panels, 5 rather, and then each one will have the answers to these. For example, this one will have answer for HTML and CSS answer. For now we will just give it answers. This one is JavaScript answer. This one is PHP answer. This one is Symfony answer. And this one is Drupal answer. Okay, So corresponding to each button there is a panel div. Is this markup clear? There is nothing complicated inside it. So once HTML and CSS is clicked, it will show this answer. Once this is clicked, it should show this answer. But we need to have some link between these two. We need to have link between these two so that we can know programmatically which one is related to which one. So how can we achieve that? We will give IDs to these buttons. ID is equal to HTML, for example. It will have ID of JavaScript. It will have ID of PHP. This one will have ID is equal to Symfony. This one will have ID is equal to Drupal. Okay, so now we have IDs. What can we do here so that we can link these two? Data attributes. Well done. There can be different ways also. Even with accessibility tags, you can do stuff like these. Okay, but right now we are not going to study ARIA attributes, so maybe data attribute is very good for us. So data dash, you can call it tab ID or whatever, tab dash ID, okay, or tab ID, we can have it like this. Okay, so data dash tab ID is equal to HTML data dash tab ID, let us make it simple for now, is equal to JavaScript data dash ID is equal to tab ID is equal to PHP and data dash tab ID is equal to Symfony and data dash ID, and this is the most favorite of mine, Drupal. Okay, so we have set up a data attribute. So how can we target it in JavaScript? With dataset.tabID now. Okay, if you open it now in the browser, so we have just simple HTML and the answers to it. If you go to Google and just google.com button CSS styles, let us copy some beautiful button. How about this one? Or maybe this one is okay, right? We have copied it. In CSS we will just paste it and remove this, and we will give a button a class, so remove these extra. Button class is equal to button. If we refresh it now, we will have these buttons. Alright, let us give wrapper some width so that the tabs are in the center of the page. Maybe how can we change the CSS a bit so that they are in the
body flex.
yeah,
Also by content.
let us leave it like that for now, so if we can quickly jump to okay. Next is, let us copy some real word Wikipedia. What is the HTML and CSS, and we can just copy some paragraphs from it. So what is HTML? We will paste it here inside the p tags, and then for JavaScript, what is PHP? Then okay, so if we now go to, this is the HTML part, all of them are on the same page right now. So what our goal now is to make each of these buttons clickable so that only the relevant ones are shown. So it is JavaScript time now. Let us go to JavaScript. If we check our markup again, so these are the buttons, so we need to click on each of the button and do something. So what that do something would be to attach the click handler for that. So what we can do is we can target the all the buttons here. So document dot const all buttons is equal to document dot query all, and we can target the button attribute also, because we don't have any other buttons, and even the class too, because we have given it the class of button as well. So all buttons is this, and all panels should be const all panels is equal to document dot query selector all dot panel. So we have given each of the divs a panel class. Class all panels is equal to document requisition letter. Let us check it again if we have given the right. So each div has a class of panel, 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 and panel. So means this now, this variable has all the buttons now, and this variable has all the panels now. The next thing is we should loop through this so that an event listener is attached to it. So all buttons dot for each means for every element of the all buttons. Then it will have a function, callback function. What does the if we pass some element to this for each callback function, what does this mean? Parameter, but here what does it mean? Individual button. These are all buttons. If we pass some parameter, it means this is a single button. So we can call it single button for your understanding right now. Single button. All buttons means it will have all the buttons in the page right now with the class dot buttons. But now we are looping through it, and the function which is passed to for each, if a parameter is passed to it, that means that single element. This is the same for map, filter, and reduce. Yeah, single button. So now we are going to attach add event listener to this single button. Dot add event listener. Which one? Click. And what will happen if this is clicked? So again, this is going to be a function. And what this will do? Here we will write all our logic. For now, so that it is working fine, we can console. Always do so, because there are at times errors. So you might have written a lot of code, but initially you will have some errors. So just at start of any add event listeners, do something like this. So e.target.inner text, and once you have to use that events object e, so then you will have to pass it to the add event listener function as well. Now if we check it, if it is working, where is console? Console is this. Now this is dynamic. E.target makes elements dynamic. I mean, whatever element I click on, for example, what is PHP, so it will show the inner text of this one, whichever has been clicked. If I click on JavaScript, it will show this is not hard coded, it is dynamic. Whichever element is clicked, it will show its inner text. Okay, so it means the event listener is working fine. So we will now remove this. Now we have all panels. So if I want to, we have given IDs to this these buttons. We have given IDs to these buttons. Okay, if I want to console.log this, the ID of this button, whichever is clicked, what I will do? E.target.id. So this will be console.log e.target.id. Exactly. And you can also get attribute ID also, but this is a very old property, so we can directly access .id. So now if I click on JavaScript, it will get its ID. This is PHP, this is Drupal, and this is, so it is just outputting the HTML ID of attribute of that, but we will save it in a variable. Okay, let current ID is equal to e.target.id. Is this fine?
Yes.
Now I need to loop through all the panels. I need to loop through all the panel IDs and panels here. These are the panels. So if the ID is equal to this, so it will show it, otherwise all it will hide it. Got it? So let us loop. We already have targeted all panels. So all panels dot
For each.
dot for each, and for each accepts a function, and what does this function
Single
gets
panel.
passed? Single element. So we can call it panel or one panel or whatever. So if panel dot dataset dot what is that, tab ID is equal to current ID. If it is equal to this, okay, so what we will do, else we will do something else. So if it is equal, so just like the assignment we did yesterday, panel dot hidden is equal to false, otherwise panel dot hidden is equal to true. You can also give classes display none or hidden or whatever, this all depends upon, but this is an HTML attribute hidden, so we can directly give it the hidden attribute. So in each loop it will check whether its tab ID is equal to the current ID. If it is, then it will assign it hidden false, otherwise hidden will be true. It means all the others will be hidden then. So now this is JavaScript, this is PHP, this is Drupal, and this is Symfony. Do you get it? It is working fine. This is HTML, this is JavaScript, this is PHP, this is clear? Okay, initially if we load the page, all of them are shown. So what can we do with it? We can programmatically also add a hidden, all of them are hidden. For example, this one, it will be hidden. The second one will be hidden too. The third one hidden.
So also we can hide it from the for each loop as well.
Exactly. So this was this is hard coded hidden attribute to the HTML. Okay. Now just HTML markup is shown, and if we click on this, but in real world data comes from server or API or even some JavaScript objects. So this should be done programmatically, not hard coded. So how can we do that here? It will be here once the page loads. Okay, so here we can go through all the panels, dot for each what's that, for each function, and inside the function, this is the first parameter. First parameter will be the element. What is the second parameter? Index. Well done. So the index is greater than 0, means it is the second element, right? So panel dot hidden is equal to true. That's it. It means we are looping through all the elements at start, and if the index of it is greater, mean not the first one.
If it is 0, then it should be shown.
Yeah, so we are not going to give any hidden attribute to that one, but to the rest of them. So now it is it has looped through it, and this is now dynamic. Okay, so that was types. Once we are into accessibility, we will have a complete lecture on that. Then we will add accessibility attributes also to these tabs. Just remind me, okay? Any questions? And you can give classes dot active classes or something like that also. All the logic depends upon you. If for example this is active right now, so this will be something different. Yes. Some background, so you know it has been clicked. It is again on click, you will have to give some active class. The next is accordion. Shoot. Just like tabs, we had some markup to add, and then CSS. Similarly, we'll go that route here in accordion as well, and then in the last we will do some JavaScript. So let us start with the markup. Then we will have div class is equal to accordion. So normally an accordion is the wrapper class. Then you have items. So if you go to that website again, you say, what was it? ustraveltalks.com. So here this is the whole container will be accordion, and then each one of these is known as accordion item. This is accordion item, this is accordion item, okay? And this is accordion body, this is accordion header, item header, sorry. Each one of these, this is item, accordion item, this is accordion item header, and this is accordion item body. So we will create some markup. Div class is equal to accordion dash item. So for example, if there are, these are all items. If an accordion has 4 items, so it has 4 items. These are the items. Then in each item there will be accordion header. Accordion dash item dash header. You can use BEM classes also. Okay. A div class is equal to accordion item, then accordion item header. We can have some, or maybe for headers we can use h3 for now, headings, and then the accordion body. Div class is equal to accordion dash item dash body. body or copy, whatever you can call it, and it will be a paragraph with some text. So again, if we make it what is HTML and CSS, this will be the answer to. Let us copy it from here. How can we wrap these lines? Good. So let us copy. Okay, so we have created the first accordion item, right? Or maybe before copying, let us quickly copy the markup of all these items. So this is another one, this is another one, this is another one. We have 5 accordion items. And by the way, why are these called accordion items? So you might have seen this thing. Musicians use it for. Accordions normally are like these. Okay. So if we now check the markup, so these are just headings right now. We will change it to JavaScript, PHP, Symfony and Drupal also. Quickly let us do it. This one is JavaScript, this one is PHP, this one is PHP, JavaScript, Symfony. Okay. Next, we can give it some CSS. So firstly, let us make them centered in the page. Okay, this is the accordion item header. So let us give it some very light border and some padding. E1. So do you see some border around it? Okay. The next thing is we need to have some plus and minus signs here. Plus and minus. You can use icons, but I will use simple after attribute. Okay. So this how to use after? Colon after. Okay. So content is going to be here we will use plus. Then let us give it some beautiful red color. or red is fine for now. Okay, position absolute right 15 pixel, and once you have made it absolute, what you will do? Position relative, that's it. So now we have plus signs. Even you can give some font size also here. So font is size 40 pixel. We can give it in rems also, but it is now moving out of the. Let us reduce it to 26. And maybe some top value also. Okay, this is fine for now. Okay, so now once we click it, it should show the HTML relevant to this question. Let us increase some padding to from right there a bit. Okay, and once it is active, we will change the icon to dot active. So we will change it to minus. Okay, how to check if it is working fine? Anybody? I will click on this one. In console we can
Plus sign.
where it is.
Plus sign.
Let us close it from here. I have never liked this thing to the right because I'm used to it in the bottom of the page. Okay, so this is your header. If we give it an active class, so active makes it a minus, and it's a smaller one. Maybe we need to increase the, and we just need to give change the font size, maybe 46 pixels. Remove other ones because those are redundant. These already have been applied. So now minus is a bit, and if we change it to 10 or maybe 5, minus is this. Okay, it will only be added once we add the active class to the header element, this element. Okay, now let us copy the markup for the answers to the panel, accordion body. So let us copy it from here again. This is JavaScript, so in the JavaScript section, this is JavaScript. Now Drupal. This is Drupal. Then we have JavaScript. JavaScript, then PHP, then Symfony. So that's all. Now if we check, all of these are open. This is the same thing, the header element, and then this is the body. For HTML, this is Drupal, this is the body, this is the header, this is the body, this is the header, this is the body, this is the header, body, and so on. Right, so all of these are right now open. Now we will switch to JavaScript, and the main concept is this element and yeah. So let us start JavaScript. What should we target first? All the header elements, all the headers. So the headers are these accordion.item header, right? We'll go step by step so as you can understand what we are doing. So let us target all headers. Const all headers is equal to document dot query selector all and this dot accordion dot item. Is this right? Const all headers is equal to this. Now we need to do something once all of these headers are clicked. Okay, and one of the thing which we will do is make this add a class of active. So all headers dot add event listener dot for each. Even VS Code doesn't allow you to directly add event list because this is an array right now, and you can't add event listener to the array. You will have to do it to individual element of the array. So dot for each, and then it will have a function that basically works on the HTML parent, not the JavaScript array. Okay, so all headers dot for each function, and each element is a single header, or accordion item we can call it, item header. Okay, so single header. So what will we will add single first up if it is working fine, single header dot class list dot add active. So once it is clicked, we will add an active class to it. Let us see if it is working fine. Yeah. Okay, so we haven't yet used add event listener. Okay, so let us do this inside the add event listener. So single header dot add. Now we are going to add event listener to each one of the element. So add event listener, what is that? Click. If that is clicked, something should happen, and that something should be inside this function, and we'll do this like this. Okay, we can use this also here. So now if it is clicked, then it will become minus because active has been added to it. But right now we haven't done any functionality which is going to hide this. So In CSS, what we can do is, if we go to the accordion body, this is the accordion item body. Okay, so let us give some CSS to it. We'll give it, for example, max height or height, whatever, is equal to 0, overflow hidden. So now everything is the height is actually 0, the body's height is 0. Now if I click on it, it will add the add class to it. And one more thing, yes, it will give it the height, and but to which element, we are not using data attributes here, to which element it should give the height once it is clicked, or if this is clicked, to which element it should give the height, the body, but which body, the next to this heading. So you can, if we come to markup, you can see this is one header. So for example, if this is clicked, what is its next element sibling? This body. So actually the next element sibling should be targeted here. So if this is clicked, it is adding the class to it, and single header dot next element sibling dot style dot style dot max height is equal to, for example, I give it some hard coded value, say 200 pixel, 300 pixels. Okay, so if I click it, it has taken the 300 pixel height, and even it is cut out because we have given it hard coded height. So this should not be the case. For this very purpose, there is a very cool property which is known as single header dot next sibling, single header dot next sibling dot scroll height. So scroll height basically is almost the height of the element once it has all the content in it. It's very cool also. Even if you have scrolled something, you can Google about scroll height yourself, but this is a very sophisticated property of any element, so we can use that. But it is in JavaScript, it gives you a value without px or any measurement, so we can manually add px. Now if you click on it, it will show the all the elements. Is this okay? Now there are a few glitches still in it. If for example if I refresh it, we can open it, but clicking again should close it. It is not closing it.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, if I have opened this one and I click on say other one, all others should be hidden. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
So now we will go do that thing. Also, one of the we can give some CSS also to the active class, active transition max height 0.2 seconds and is in or something, whatever. So now if it gets open, it will be still, it is not doing it. Max dot active. Is there any transition now? not able to see it. Octave transition. Or we can give transition to not the active element but the body. Actually, it will work now, hopefully. So now let us reduce it to 0.2 seconds, and we can use the max height again. Probably if this is not working, then we will have to use the quotations, but it's working. Okay, so now the glitch is all of these can be opened, but they are not getting closed. If any other one is clicked, or the one which has already been opened gets clicked. So what can we do is, let us write some extra logic. Now we are able to click on any of the elements, and it opens up with this relevant content or body, we can say. But what now I want to achieve is, if I click on the same header again, it should close it up too. Right now it is not doing it. So we are right now on the click adding an active class, and then setting up its next element siblings style of max height to the next element siblings scroll height, whatever is the scroll height of that element. But we should enclose it in if and else, so that if there already is an active class, it should not add that active class. Rather, it should remove it. So let us enclose this one, if and then else. So when should we add the class? Once the single header doesn't have any class. So if single header dot class list dot contains dot active, if it contains the active, so we should remove it. So we will do the opposite of it. If it contains the active class, we should remove it, and we should move the div to 0, so it closes. But if it contains if it doesn't contain it, then we will add these two, so that class is added to it, like this. So let us repeat now. If single header, which is a single element, if it contains the active class, it means right now it is open. For example, if it is open, now it contains the active class. So now if I click on it, it should remove that active class, and it should make the height of this next sibling 0. But if it doesn't contain it, right now it doesn't have active class, so now it should give it a class of active and make the height equal to the max height. So right now if I click on it, it is now working. If you click on it, it has added the active class to it, but right now it has the active class, so it will remove the active class from it. Once the active class is removed, the next element siblings height will reduce to 0. So this logic is now working. If single header dot class list contains active, so it removes the active class and it makes the height 0. But if it doesn't contain it, then it adds the class and makes the max height to elements scroll height. That's it. Now one more thing we are left with still. So for example, if Drupal is open for now, if I click on JavaScript, it should close the Drupal one. And again, this is a very tricky one to achieve. Maybe you need to give it some thought, but let me explain it before we are going to plunge into the code again. So for example, if I click on this one, this header, the one which has been clicked, gets an active class, but there are these active ones also, this one and this one. So all the active ones which are not equal to this one which has been clicked should be revoke the active class. So all the active ones which are not equal to this one, that's the logic actually. So let's do it. At the top of the page, first let active, or we can say old active element is equal to document dot query selector. Which one is this? It should be the same class but with an active, and you can target two double CSS classes with dot active. So what does this mean? We will target the old active class. So for example, before clicking, if there is an old active class, so if there is an old active class and old active class is not equal to which one? The current one which is being clicked on. So this is single header. If this is not equal to this one, we can use this also for it, okay? But we will have a separate class on this, that's why I'm not referring to it right now. So single header, sorry, then do something, and what that do something will be, we will remove the active class from it and remove the height from that. So we'll copy it, and this is the element we need to remove the active class from, and the next element of it will get a 0 height. Let us try if it is working fine, then we will explain it. This has been clicked, and if I click on this one, the first one gets closed. If I click on JavaScript, Drupal gets closed. If I click on PHP, so why is this happening? If I click on, for example, what is HTML and CSS, and the other one is PHP which is open right now, which is active. So if the one which is being clicked is not equal to this, that's the true condition. Then PHP is not equal to HTML and CSS here, because it is right now I'm going to click on the HTML and CSS one. So if it is not equal to, then the one which is not equal to, which is PHP right now here, it will remove the active class from it. So if I click on it, it removes the active class from PHP. If we don't use this condition of not equal to, so then it will not let add the active class to it, because we are already removing it from the single header. So single header is the one which we are going to click. If this old active element is not equal to this, and why is this one? There should be an active other than the one which is being clicked on. So this is either true or false. Remember the truthy and falsy values. So if this and the active one is not equal to the single header, then remove the active class from the old one, and also set its height to this. So that's all. We have a working accordion now, though it is not accessible. After the accessibility class, we'll make it accessible as well. So in any case, you will see in your Drupal career as well, and in web development careers, you will get to see something like this known as facts. Normally they are used for facts, and it actually covers a lot of it saves you a lot of space on the page. So for example, you need to show all of these one by one, but it squeezes the space for you on the page, and then once you click on each of the element, it shows or it gets hidden. Thank you very much.